Okay, let's look at this. I'm going to deal with your your second question first. All right, here we have the universal plotting sheet, Brad. Now, once again, let's pretend that we're at 45 degrees north. We're at 45 degrees north. That's where we're working. And we can, on our universal plotting sheet, we can label 45 degrees north on one of these parallels of latitude. But now we want to lay out some longitude lines, and you were wondering about that. What we do is we come right over here on this side of this longitude scale tool, and we find 45 degrees north. Well, it starts out here at 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Right here is 45. So all of our measurements for laying out meridians of longitude have to be drawn off of this line. So to make sure we don't make any mistakes and forget that, I'm going to draw a heavy line right here, just to clue my brain not to take it from anywhere else. Okay, so as I said in the video, 45 degrees north or south latitude, the longitudes will be this far apart. This whole distance here represents 1 degree of longitude. It starts out here at 0 and it stops at 50, but on the right side of 0 we have 10 more. So we add this 10 with this 50 comes up with 60. So that's 60 minutes or 1 degree of longitude. Now if I only want if I want 10 minutes of longitude, let's say my center longitude on this universal plotting sheet is 80. And I want to lay out a spot on there that's 80 degrees, 10 minutes of longitude west. Then I come up here, I put the point of my divider right here and the other point right here. That gives me 10. That's 10 minutes. If I wanted 20 minutes, I'd put the point here and I'd put the other point here. This gives me 10 and 10, 20. So this is 20 minutes of longitude at the proper latitude, which is 45. Remember the reason this line is curved, this represents the curvature of the Earth actually. As you go further north, the distance between one longitude line and the other gets shorter and shorter and shorter. This stops at 70, but if it went on up to 90, it'd be right here. They'd converge at 90 right here. So this is at 45, and this is how far longitudes are apart. Now if I wanted, let's say I was doing 80 degrees and 12 minutes, I'd get my 10 minutes, I'd put one point here and get 10 minutes. Then I take it over to this other little line here. Each of these is 2 minutes. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So altogether this is 10 minutes of longitude. So I just want 2 of them. So I put one point of my dividers here, the other point at this first little line here to the right of the 0. And that gives me 10 plus 2 would be 12. So then I can come right over here. If this is 80, then I can come right over here. I can put a point here and then come out here with my divider, and wherever it falls, I'll know that this is 80 degrees, 12 minutes of longitude at 45 degrees north latitude. So I hope you understand that. Now your next question was about how to transfer bearing lines off of this compass rose to anywhere else on the chart. We had 095. Well, my parallel rulers are on my sailboat, so I had to make these ones out of paper here, but they'll do the trick. Now what I can do is I take my there's a lot of tools you can use, like I said in my email. There's some that have little rollers on them that you can roll around. You can use 2 triangles, but that's a little tricky for a beginner. So I wouldn't even waste my time with those. If you're a beginner, get yourself a good set of parallel rulers and use those. They're easy to use and you'll never forget how to use them. So we'll come up here. Here's the center, and here is 90, and here is 95, right here. So I put my parallel rulers, put one point in the middle, the other end at 95, like that. Make sure they're together. Then I can move this one. See how I can move it? Well, this is kind of rinky-dink because I just made it, but the theory is that you can move these anywhere on this chart, up or down. Like if I wanted to move it down, I'd put it here, then I'd move the other one. All right, so if we're going to draw 90 from right here, let's say this is our position. This is our position right here. I take 90 and I just transfer this up here like that. Then I draw my line. There, that is 090. That's my course of 090. So that's how you use parallel rulers. I wouldn't even waste my time with those other things until you become comfortable with parallel rulers. Those others work. Those ones, some of them roll around. Okay, you can use those. But I just find parallel rulers more simple to use. And like I said, those you can use 2 triangles also. But I don't recommend it. I recommend getting some parallel rulers and practicing. Once again, let's say we're going to do 330. Here's 330 right here. And we're going to move it to right here. Here's our position. We're going to take a course of 330 from right there. We put our parallel rulers right here. Put one in on 330, the other one in the middle. Put them together. And then we just move the parallel rulers over here and we transfer that course. So, I hope that you're seeing all that in this camera, and I see you are. So that's how you do it. I hope I've answered your question. If I haven't, hey, email me again. I'll try a little harder. Okay?